And we undermine any hope of a close relationship and cooperation in the future with the EU by leaving it, compared with, as Seb Dance said, as I quoted, our strong role that we've just left from being at the top of the table. Now, we've had a quote from Ronald Reagan earlier today, but I'm going to quote from another hero, or maybe I should say heroine, of the party opposite. Margaret Thatcher said in 1975, before we joined the EEC, quote, "If Britain were to withdraw, we might imagine we could regain complete national sovereignty, but it would in fact be an illusion," unquote. But moving on, Madam Deputy Speaker, I very, very sadly and reluctantly accept that the UK is leaving the EU at 11 p.m. tomorrow night. But I and my colleagues on this side will continue to demand the power to scrutinise and vote on trade deals so that we can make sure UK values and UK businesses and their interests are at the centre of all future trade deals. It's shocking that the government removed the power of Parliament to do this in the Withdrawal Bill, now the Withdrawal Act. We on this side expect parliamentarians to be at the centre of all future trade deals, and the reason we want this is to protect our global and our national environment, to protect our consumer standards, our workers' rights, but most importantly, for the future of life on Earth. Climate change, as I've said, must be at the centre of all our trade negotiations. The UK should decarbonise export finance. As my honourable friend on the front bench said, current projects supported by the UK export system, when complete, will dump 69 million tonnes of carbon into the atmosphere. The Environmental Audit Committee said in the previous Parliament, they called this the elephant in the room, undermining the UK's international climate targets. And furthermore, Madam Deputy Speaker, I concur with the Shadow Secretary of State for International Trade and what he said about the atrocity of awarding export licences in respect of arms sales, products used for torture as well, and other controlled exports. This undermines further our reputation as a morally credible partner across the globe. Labour has called for robust enforcement of export licensing criteria in respect of arms sales and other controlled exports. Personally, I'd like to see the UK diversify out of the arms industry altogether and use that skill, those technology, those jobs, and put them into productive technology, such as renewable energy generation. And in conclusion, Madam Deputy Speaker, does the government really want to take the UK back to being the poor man of Europe that I remember from my childhood? Or will the party opposite share with us in a more positive vision for the UK's place in the world? The values that helped shape Europe after 1989 and the fall of the Berlin Wall: openness, democracy, compassion, and protection of the world's precious resources and environment.